Good evening. My name is Angel Brookins. I will be talking about my internship experience that I had here at Herzing. I am a business student. I'm going to school for business management. I am getting my associate's degree. I have been in the restaurant business for 25 years, and I intend on continually be in the business. Um, why I'm only going for my associates is because with my experience, I needed just the basic background information just to get things started. I wanted to know the finance. I wanted to know the ins and outs of running a restaurant. I wanted to know the legal aspect of running a business. And at Herzing, I was able to get a little bit of everything, and that I do understand that the undergrad degree that I am getting is just giving me basic knowledge of the business program. It's not like, if I was getting my graduate or my master's or anything like that. It was just giving me basics. So in the internship that I chose to work with Snap Realty, which is one of the leading real estate companies out here. And I chose real estate for two reasons. One reason is real estate, you have to work on your own. You have to know the ins and outs. You have to have your time management skills. You have to be your own boss. You don't work for anyone. You don't check into anyone. You don't clock in every day. You make your own time, and your time is money. So if you don't delegate your time wisely, you won't make any money. Another reason why I picked Snap Realty is because in real estate, they deal with so much. They're under this big old umbrella that deals with so much of the business, whether it's accounting, social media, networking, marketing. They do all of that in real estate. So that's why I chose real estate. Um, the, we did a lot of activities. We did a lot of networking. I met a lot of amazing people. Like one of the things that we did do is we traveled to Baton Rouge where we went to a real estate luncheon when I was able to meet um believe she's the Secretary of State. It is in my PowerPoint. And we were also able to go into the finance bank, I believe it is, where they keep the bonds and all of those big things. So we was in and out of bank. We learned the banking systems. We learned um, where bonds are kept, where deeds are kept. We learned how long it takes when each one mature. We learned all of those type of things, which that was really cool. Another thing that we really did that stuck out to me was Snap Realty is involved with Women That Build. And what Women That Build does is they go into different areas, whether it's rundown area that needs to be rebuilt, or they work with Habitat of Humanity, but it's just a group of women from the real estate aspect of everything. So you have brokers there, we have regular women that's in real estate, we have construction, but they're all women. They're called Women That Build, and they go in and they rebuild these houses to for families and stuff like that, and they do it all for free. It is an amazing thing. So we were able to do that, and we did that on the weekends. Another thing that we did work wise, we did a lot of work and stuff. So don't get me wrong, we didn't have a whole. It just wasn't all fun, but work wise, we were able to work in finance, so in contract law. So in real estate, you have to have your coins up. That's one. And another thing is you have to be able to read and understand a contract so you can explain it to your buyers or your sellers or your renters. You have to be able to explain all of that stuff. And what Miss Nicole does is she made sure I knew what the contract said and what the contract meant so I can explain it to her people, because she doesn't want anyone to sign anything that they do not understand, and everyone can afford or has a lawyer. So if you understand what's in the contract, then you will understand what you're signing on to. And so in the long run, you will be able to better make the decision when concerning your money, because purchasing a home is a big thing. And if you're not prepared to purchase a home, or you sign the wrong contract when you're purchasing a home, you never know what you get into, and your deal may be upside down. And that's not what she believes in. Another thing that we were able to do was we dealt with discrimination. And because we had some clients that wanted to move into a prominent neighborhood, they were African American, and the neighborhood was primarily Caucasian. And the neighborhood that they wanted to move into, they really loved this house. And we didn't, well, my agent didn't, she didn't, supervisor, she didn't think that anything was wrong with them moving into this house. So we had the appraiser come out. We was appraising the house. We had an inspection. We were doing all of these things. And in the midst of us doing these things, the neighbor called the police because they seen the African American couple, which is the buyers, in the front yard. And so the police came and we was escorted off of the property because the owners wasn't there. The sellers were at work. So after we did that and we went through that, that was a big ordeal. And I've never seen a team actually work together the way this team pulled together between the broker got her attorney involved, the buyers, they didn't even have to worry about nothing because Snap Realty took care of everything. They met all of their needs. So at the end of the day, they were able to go to the table to do the contract signing, and in the contract signing, we got an apology from the seller. The seller paid the closing costs, and they took care of all of the problems with the property because they felt as if the buyers were mistreated in the long run. It was great. It just worked out wonderfully well. Another thing that we did uh, were networking. One thing that I have to understand, because I'm in the restaurant business, and like I said, I've been in there for about 25 years, and I tend on standing in there. And one of the things that you have to know is networking. So it's whether you're throwing something at your place or you have to go to someone else's place. Networking is the key to build your business. And in real estate, that's one thing that they do have good is network, and they can really build their business. So we did a lot of networking, and I mentioned that in my PowerPoint. The one thing that I learned about myself in this internship is I have to learn to manage my time wisely, because you have to be able to move, push in every day, and you have to rely on yourself because no one is telling you what to do. Another thing that I've learned was I have to take more Toastmaster classes because when you're meeting people and you're talking to people every day, you have to be able to present and be well spoken and let people know where you're coming from and what you mean. So taking Toastmaster classes will be able to help me with that. Another thing that I'm going to take out of this internship is no matter what I do, I have to remember that education is the key, because if I know how to read a contract, I'll be able to make the best decision for my company. If I knew how to present a contract, or if I knew what rules were what to do, and how to react to certain things, then my business will grow. If I know my finances, then my business will grow and no one can steal from me. So I think one thing that I am taking from this is I'm going to continue to my education just so I can continue to grow. Another thing that I'm taking from it is um, networking. Like I said, just plenty of networking because she does that so well. But yeah, I had a great time in my internship, and I'm very glad that I did it. I did teach Nicole because we went over things such as the 4 P's of marketing, adding the 5, which is people, which are the people that you work for and the people that you work for and the people that work for you. Another thing we went over is project management, knowing that each person has a spot in your project. Okay, so you have to make sure each person is doing what they're doing at the time they need to do it. In project, Nicole is a little lenient on her team. One thing that I told her is maybe she should stand on top of her team just a little bit more. Don't hover, but at least make sure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to do in a timely fashion, because it will throw off your time. And if your time is thrown off, then you'll have a bad event. And we almost encountered that in our broker's tour. Um, Another cool thing that happened was Nicole actually went on her website and on Facebook and gave me a shout out for my internship. And you will also see that in my PowerPoint. Well, that sums up pretty much everything that I did, kind of, in the time that I have allowed. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please contact me. Have a good day.